Yeah, so you continue through the sewer.
It's okay, I was going to ask about XP. We can do that later.
For the kobolds, you got... Where are they? You got 150 to split.
Woo! 150 divided by 6.
So like 25 each.
Wait, 5. Brenda's not here. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Sweet Brenda.
Wait,
30.
how many?
We only get 5.
Everyone gets 30.
25.
Oh, 25.
30.
30.
30, because there aren't 6 of you right now.
Oh, 30.
Okay. So you continue on through the sewer
Okay.
after
the hag?
disposing of the bodies. And you don't see sign of a hag. You just continue on through and you finally come upon this post that has a torch that looks like it's lit every now and then. And you can see it has the sigil of the royal crest.
I light the torch.
Okay. So you light the torch and you can see a couple more offshoots of the tunnels that go off. But you now know that it's been a little over an hour because you had to take care of some rats and some kobolds.
So that was the torch we were supposed to light.
And that was the torch you were supposed to light. Just to signal that someone will come down here and see it's lit and know that the area was investigated.
Alright.
What time of day did we come down?
Later morning, so it'll be afternoon by the time you guys get out.
We have a bit of time if you want to push on.
Well, I feel like we've done what we were supposed to do. It's not like we're going to get paid more than the 40 gold for this, so...
Well, they might not even give us the 40 gold if we don't bring back something concrete.
You just said to investigate and light the torch. We did that. Also, I feel like we're going to need some baths before going anywhere tonight.
Oh yeah, we got a
What do
date
you mean
tonight,
they
y'all?
won't let me in?
Shimmy.
Shimmy's full body. What do you mean?
Yeah, I say we head back.
Seizure.
Alright.
Okay. So you guys head back the way that you came. You pass over the corpses of the few rats that are still like there on the passageway, and you emerge out into the light again. And it's definitely like something you have to like squint against because now it's like early afternoon. And that little boy is standing there, and sure enough, he has a candy stick. And he has, like, licked it into a very sharp point, and every now and then he, like, pokes his finger on it and then pops it back in his mouth. And he's just, like, watching you guys as you tromp out. He wrinkles his nose and, you guys smell really bad. Did you find her? Did you get her hair?
Her fingers and her hair.
And he's like,
Should have brought back a toe.
Damn it!
Oh.
Why didn't we do that?
Souvenir toe.
and he's just, like, watching you guys as you emerge from the
Isn't
sewer.
your mom, like, wondering where you are?
No, she's probably working.
Alright.
Also, we did not see any coins tossed down there,
Correct.
so there were quite a few monsters. I would not go in there by yourself.
Or ever, really.
And he, like, holds up his candy stick. I have a spear, though.
But do you really want to smell like this?
No. You smell really bad. And then you hear his say, real bad.
Shut up.
And the boy's like,
Not you, Lemmy. Sorry.
that's not my name.
Limmy.
And he's like, no. And he hops down from this, like, just broken down wall bit. And he's like, okay, thanks for getting her hair. And he, like, walks off.
Weird child. Alright, let's get dressed. I want to go to this opera.
Well, some of us need to.
Limmy was the hag.
Somebody needs to go to
I know,
the
right?
guard.
BBG.
Correct.
Limmy's mother was the
Yeah.
hag.
So I can go to the guard to get our
Oh.
coins.
Money.
Yes.
Anybody
Want to go with? Is everybody going to go, babe?
But the decisions all around.
I just
okay.
walk
He'll know that I was
away.
in the sewers.
Okay.
I just walk back towards the end.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the
Child.
dude.
And
It's all right.
he, like, looks at you as you walk up and he's, Well, the torch was lit, so
Indeed.
did you find anything?
We found some things. Not a hag. Definitely not a green hag.
Yeah, I figured. And he like scribbles something down and he's, thank you, the crown will remember. And he like takes out a pouch and he drops it to you.
Take it and put it in my pocket.
And then he
put it in my robe.
And then he takes a small wooden token that has, it looks like it has the face of a woman on one side and the face of a man on the other, and he drops that in your hand as well. Alright, so that's my good word. You just show that to one of the King's Guard and, well, they'll know that I vouch for you for at least something.
Hey, what was his name again?
Henry.
Maybe we can go talk to the king.
Thank you, Henry. Glad we could be helpful to you.
If you need more work, someone's usually here.
Well, good to know. We'll probably be back. Have a good day.
And he just nods and scribbles something in the book, and you watch as he like unhooks the banner and rolls it up, puts it into a pouch at his hip, and walks off.
It's just like Chuck E. Cheese. We gotta keep killing things, and when we have enough tokens, we can redeem an audience with the king.
You have to get the ticket muncher.
It's that, or it's sticky hands.
Both are good.
The little hands.
Alright. So you guys go ahead and head back to the inn, and are you all just taking the bath of the century?
He's writing poetry in the back.
I'm gonna make sure.
No,
Dramatically.
not even doing that. Staring into the distance.
The sad shower scene. He's looking into the water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, in the privacy of our room, I'm just gonna make sure, with as much as I can, that my dress is as clean as humanly possible.
Healthily possible.
Clean, yes, correct. Clean myself off, get some of my nice perfume oils out, and dab it on my wrists, on my neck. I make sure my hair is up and that looks nice. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can to make it believable that I'm in the patron section of this establishment.
Okay.
With that being said, Sophia's also gonna get all kinds of, like, as best as she can, and she's going to do her most elaborate braids where none of it, like, touches her neck, and all of it is, like, pulled up and, like, almost draping. Instead of, like, falling, it's draping.
Claudius wears his only clothes.
Will you let me put lipstick on you?
Tamsin's
Can I go find Remember? Before we leave.
Tamsin's gonna swap out to a secondary robe after bathing and everything so that his other robes can be cleaned.
Okay. And then Claudius is going to go seek out Remember. Okay.
And then she makes her do that.
Alright, so Remember, well, what is Remember doing to get ready?
Am I going? Are we all going?
Everyone
we're
is
all
like,
going.
yeah,
Okay.
we're
We're all
going.
going to the Opal Fields.
Well, we're all getting cleaned up at least.
Party.
Distinctly separate of you all.
Wait, I thought you and I were going as a date.
We can go,
Oh, okay.
just not with that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
This is where Toph and Katara are like, no, you guys can get in as like servers because you couldn't pass in high society.
Correct. Yeah.
Alright, what is Remember doing to get ready for this?
I don't know, because, like, the Brilli concept of formal wear.
It's out.
Don your
Little
finest armor.
Scanty.
Oh, scant. Nary a cloth to be seen.
Scanty. Nary a cloth to be seen. So I think she's gonna do the
Tis but
routine
a
that she's been
loincloth in
doing,
the
like
wind.
whenever they need to go somewhere that's fancy, where she's like wearing what would be in Brilli considered to be formal attire, so it's more of the like decorative cloth draping and not necessarily like tactical. And then there's a lot of like, you know that sundress I've got, that thing, and then. But she's still got, like, a pauldron, and she's still got, like, braces. So, like, if she needs to stand behind them and look intimidating, then she stands behind them and looks intimidating.
Okay, and so while Remember is like getting her.
She's also probably cleaning your weapons.
She's
and, like,
pretty.
So
pretty.
while,
one of those
so
dress
while
pantsuit
Remember is
face.
doing all of that, there is a knock on the door.
Come in.
I go in. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you. Sorry for losing my shit in there. You guys depend on me, and
Yeah, I wasn't much help, so I'm sorry.
It happens.
Also, since you're the only one who's taken interest, you guys deserve to know a little more. So, it's mindless drivel, but it might help.
Writes Dr. Seuss poetry.
Thanks. And
Alright.
just kind of
Claudius.
social cues.
Claudius just gone.
Oh no! Well, do you say his name? Oh, he like turns for a second. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. He goes. Yeah. And then walks away.
Poetry, you're the only one in the party that can't read.
Aww.
Oh, he has no idea.
She learned to read solely for that.
He didn't know.
Wait, let me see, because I'll tell you, with the learning, probably she would know, she would probably know the words that are 3 letters.
Okay.
So any of the 3-letter words, those are the ones that she knows.
Reads aloud.
And Tamsin's still in the room getting ready, and she's sitting here reading this out loud.
Oh, he was in that room, isn't he?
Yeah,
They were in the same room.
sharing
too.
a room with the
Probably.
so you just hear it, not his voice.
I know he didn't give that to me, but would you like some help? Help there, remember?
No.
Okay.
She's gonna tuck it away very securely into something that she wears all the time.
Okay.
Oh. Ask
So-
stranger, can you read one line for me? Don't read ahead.
She covers up the
One
other part of it
line.
with paper until
Ask
just the
each
first line.
market person like 1 line each.
Okay,
You'll know nothing.
It's like FBI blackout. Like
So you
probably
guys take some time to get ready, get yourselves looking nice, smelling nice. It takes a little while to scrub the sewer out.
Oh, cute.
And it's early dusk by the time that you guys are prepared to head out.
Before we go all the way out, can I kind of stop at the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Looking real nice.
Can you actually read it? My handwriting's good.
To whoever's
poetry,
behind
bud.
the bar.
Dribble.
Just. Good
He's gonna
evening.
teach the youth.
My friends and I have heard that the Opal Fields is a nice place to go. However, I understand there are some social circumstances surrounding it. Can you tell me anything about it?
Yes, actually, it's fun once or twice if you're not a performer. They usually only allow performers and patrons. It can be fun for parties later in the evening when you want to convince your friends to do something quite silly.
Karaoke bar.
The entry fee is not quite so high, and performers do a little bit of everything. I once saw a man convince a dog to go through a hoop that was on fire, so that was quite interesting. But, like I said, there usually is an entrance fee unless you're a patron, and then the entrance fee is, well, considerably higher, but you have a personal box to watch from.
Understood. So it is just patrons and performers. So if my group was to go, one of us would have to perform?
Well, technically, all of you would have to perform.
So we're a troupe, is what I'm hearing.
It can be fun,
Thank you for your time.
of course.
The Von Traps are
I
coming.
I don't like the sound of that.
Have fun. If you do not go with props or instruments of your own, I've heard that some can be provided for you.
Wonderful.
Let you
Sounds good.
a date. Like +1.
How are your dancing skills?
They're okay.
I can, you know.
Okay. Well, I am proficient with my lyre. I wanna say I chose
I think
something.
We said that you knew how to play piano. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
Sad.
my performance isn't the
sad
worst.
boy hours.
My performance is a -2.
Sad boy hours.
You're playing the
All right.
triangle.
I'm shooting the voice of the gentleman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's narratively more interesting. So I know how to play the piano. We could do something with that. Do you sing? Do you dance?
I could shoot
Also
something off
play
someone's
piano.
head.
Oh, silly. Would I be able to perform some kind of shenanigans with like weaving like braids and stuff
Well,
like that?
you'll kind of find out once you get there. You'll
Okay.
see. Yeah.
I think I can improvise something.
Let's go then. I'm not concerned.
I am not much of a performer.
My boy has to stay home. Boy, you have to stay home.
No.
Yes.
And you like feel him bite onto the hood,
I'll feed you a snack that you really, really want.
and you hear this big snack,
The biggest one.
bigger snack.
Yes, that means big. The biggest one. I'll make it bigger than you. How about that? Full
Okay,
chicken.
and then he like lets go, and you just hear him like snapping.
Don't tear the hood. So I'm gonna get a whole chicken.
And Trishella is like hands you this chicken, and she's like, all right, well that will be 4 silver. The whole chicken?
No, it's not alive, right? It's cooked.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cooked.
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
cooked like whole chicken.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, and she just like hands you this chicken.
How much was it? I'm sorry.
4 silver.
Can I get change? I have a gold piece. Okay, great. I don't know what our conversion rate is.
16 silver is what you would get back.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking. This is an establishment where being able to carry yourself well and perform is obviously very important. I think Sophine and I have the highest chance of maybe getting in and being a bit more covert. No offense, but remember you stand out quite a bit. Claudius, you don't strike me as the kind to perform, and
I stand out where?
Everywhere.
above the cloud. Quite literally.
Oh, that makes
The Professor Knack seemed to think my weapon was some sort of parlor trick.
But do you want everyone in town knowing that you have it?
What do they care?
I mean, a crossbow would probably work just as well.
Sure,
you're
whatever.
going
I can shoot stuff off of stuff.
Sounds
That's a
good.
tall thing,
I like
person.
that.
I could shoot funny things off of her.
And then you perform together. That's exciting. But you can do that fun fire thing.
Yeah, no, I know how to do like the fiery thing with them.
What can you do?
Are you guys having this discussion as you're walking down the
Yes.
road?
Yeah.
Perhaps I sit this one out.
Oh, you want to be sneaky.
For what purpose?
Can you be
Because
like...
you don't want to perform. It's okay. Stage fright happens. 1 in 3 men. You'll be fine.
Can you be like an assistant? Like you hold something as part of the performance, or like you hand
Well-
it off?
Claudius could shoot me.
I could. Can you catch?
Yes.
Are you sure?
As long as he doesn't miss.
I don't miss.
I don't know how well they would take to blood on the stage,
I
but
guess
you know.
I can heal you if it comes
It
down
This is
to
doesn't
it.
fine.
be blood. That's the only thing I could think of. Otherwise, I think I should sit this one out.
I feel like that's a poor choice. You could be an assistant, hold something, like maybe you hand the...
You're the one he's shooting the thing outside your head.
And if I miss, you catch it.
Yeah. He has to have someone to shoot the thing off of.
It works more so like if you're gonna hit me,
Hit me.
then I could catch it.
Deflect missiles.
Honest.
Alright, so are we at this place yet or not?
Yeah, so you guys have this discussion as you're like meandering through the city.
Side note, Sophie
And,
has cut her shoulders out of one of her blouses to be like more shimmy.
Shimmy.
Just for flavor text, I do want to put it in there that when they all got into the room together, remember, just did like a slightly wider eye and then a...
You can write this.
You know, if we weren't in Giron, these wings would be quite a show.
It's alright, bud. We'll get you out of here.
If you're into being put into chains, maybe we could do like a freak show.
So you guys
Walks away.
You guys finally
Ignored.
you guys finally get to where the Opal Fields are supposed to be, and what exactly are you anticipating it looks like? That's what I want to like.
Moulin
The
Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Windmill and all.
Oh
Elephant
my
on the
gosh.
ceiling.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking.
Not Not quite.
giant theater.
I pictured
starlit
Stonehenge
curtains.
with like an amphitheater seating.
Sure.
That's what I got. What are you talking about, Moulin Rouge? What?
You guys approach. It's towards the lower end of the middle tier. It's kind of like outlined a bit. And you can see that there is no roof on this building. And you can hear music, you can hear cheering. And there are 2 doors outside. One of them is marked with a key, and there is a small line of people. And then the other is marked just with a music note. And there is a much longer line of people. And they're kind of like chattering with each other and like laughing and ribbing each other. And you can see the patrons each present a key. And this huge guy at the door takes the key and puts it into a little box, peers at it, and then hands the key back and lets them in. Which line do you go to?
Music note.
I want to go up to the key line. How many people deep is it?
It's about 6 people deep.
How long is it taking him to get through it?
It's going very quickly.
Okay, so I'll wait patiently in line, and when I get up to the front, I'll just tell you others, I'm going to get some information. If you want to come with me, you can.
Okay, I can come.
Yes, I went to town and had this establishment recommended to me by a friend. How much do you charge for new patrons?
New patron is 400 gold.
Understood.
And this is like a huge human. Like, he's massive. Imagine the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Good.
That's who is standing at the
Is
door.
Remember just like
Game recognized game.
Alright. I will consider. For tonight, I don't think that I want to necessarily buy into the system, but I will go in on the performer side to see what you offer. You don't have like a trial night or anything like that.
Trial. You perform or you don't perform? I don't understand.
For the patrons, to decide if this is worth it.
If you're a patron, you have money to just throw away. Do you have money to throw away?
I do, but I'm not sure if I want to throw it away on this yet or the new dress that I was looking at. I'll go in on the performer side just to be sure. Thank you for your time.
It's 10 silver, he calls after you as you, like, go to get in the line.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also, I gave 40 to the
party
party.
fund. Okay.
Can I discreetly at some point show you whenever I might have given you the
Okay.
stuff back at the inn. That was earlier.
Whoa, that was so fast. I like blinked and I was like, oh. Sleight of hand.
I don't have 400 gold to just throw around.
I do.
you do.
You want it.
I forgot about that.
I have 10 gold to my name. That's the most money I've ever
How
seen.
much do you?
10.
Can we
This
clear
is
out?
mad.
Actually, just go ahead and move this closer.
I had close to that before I bought my dress.
Jared just showed me that.
If you guys could just put this however it'll fit for y'all.
I think I genuinely love you more now.
I love you more every day.
Each little pentagon, hexagon. My brain don't work no more.
Hex.
Each hexagon is 10 feet. So keep that in mind. So you guys head up to the performer's door, and the gentlemen, you can see the people ahead of you. Some of them are dressed in really fine clothes, like nobility, who's just going out to like just be insane for a night kind of thing, and they each drop 10 silver into.
I left it some back at the.
Oh.
Just FYI.
Okay. And so they each drop 10 silver
I just
into
want
the
you to
ring.
know, I obviously told him at home to like stay there. and not go.
Yeah.
I figured that's standard.
And so who is approaching the door first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Angharad and I will.
Okay. And he looks you both over and 20 silver please, 1 gold.
I drop a gold.
And he goes ahead and he opens the door, and there are instruments and props inside if you don't have your own, so enjoy the night. Performances start soon. And then he like closes the door behind you. And so the two of you go in, and this is a massive, massive room. And there is a stage at the very center, and you're kind of down in almost like a pit area around it. And you can see people who are juggling, you can see people who are like going over lines, like they're going to do some kind of skit. And when you look up is when you can see these big lit boxes all around the room. And you can see people like clustered in them in very elaborate clothes, like talking with each other, and like they're fans and they're like watching and stuff.
Safina's having like mild flashbacks to like the different trials that she had to complete, and she's like, okay, alright. And she can just feel her heart racing as like all the lights feel so much hotter, and she's seeing everyone peek over their fans, and she's just remembering all the eyes that she had during the trial.
And this place is built to be bright, so it's not like there's a bunch of dark wood to like pull the light in. It's very bright. There are these like twisting spires of white marble. It's this beautiful, opulent, almost like it would be an arena if it was anything else. But it is just full of these people who are like chattering together, and you can see a couple of them who are like, oh no, I found my patron the other night. No, he's not very generous, so I'm hoping for a second, and like going around in their little clusters. Who goes in next?
3 of us.
And he looks over at the 3 and he's 1 gold, 10 silver.
Party fun.
I mean, Angharad has it.
This is like the Friends episode where like the 3 of them realize they're poor, and then the other 3 who are rich.
Tamsin gives him the gold and the silver.
Alright, enjoy your performing. There are props and instruments inside if you need them.
Wait, does that mean the 3 of us have to perform together?
No, you just paid for everybody to go in.
Safina's gonna grab like the end of your like sleeve just a little bit, just enough to like pinch it and hold it and like follow you around.
Oh, are you alright? Alright, so the 3 of you, like the door shuts behind
It reminds
you.
me of home.
And you can even hear a couple people outside who are like, what do you mean it's 10 silver? Come on! And like trying to argue with him about the cost, and you just hear, no, it's cost or go home, and that's just what you hear. And you go in, and there are props, there are instruments, there's even a large piano on wheels that it's not necessarily like a grand piano, it's more of like an upright, but they have and pretty much anything you can think of. So each of you will get to perform however you see fit. So you see a half-elf gentleman. You can tell that there have been a couple performances already, mostly like warming things up. And you can see that most of the boxes are lit, except for box number 4. That one is dark.
Box
And
5 will remain empty.
And you can see that this gentleman who's holding a book, he kind of glances up at that box and sees that it's dark and frowns a little bit. And he shakes his head and he stands very proudly at the center and I have a poem for my patron, and he bows to the dark box. And you can hear some of the performers like, he's not here. Where is he? He's always here. And he goes ahead with this beautiful poem, and it is rich and it is full, and it is like there are a couple people who at the end are like wiping tears away, and they're like, I can't believe he wasn't here to hear that.
He's like erasing some of his poems and like writing down ideas.
And at the very end, the poet goes ahead and bows again to the empty box, and he very quickly hurries off the stage, and you see a couple people approach him and, Ralph, what was that? I don't know where he is. I don't know. And he like goes off to the side. And you see a juggler. You see someone with a whip that they are snapping it at a woman who is holding like various glass objects. And they aren't just like cracking the glass objects off. The whip is hitting like the neck of these bottles and pulling them. And they're actually like being placed in various places. And you see a small blue flame go up in one of the boxes. And the 2 people on stage get very excited, and then the blue flame goes out and they go off. And instead of going back to where the other performers are, they actually go through a side door.
Nice.
And they go off.
We're gonna get some sugar daddies.
That's why she cut the sleeves out of her shoulders.
And someone actually approaches Angharad
And yes, what was your name? Giselle, it's your turn. Did you need instruments or...
Wait, we're not going together?
Do you want to perform with me?
You two are performing together?
Yes.
That's fine. Just
Full sleeve.
My plan was to play the piano and perhaps sing.
piano and singing. And did you need props or
Is
instruments?
there any kind of like
And
threads
she
or
has like a
cords?
clipboard.
Do I see any
yes.
threads or cords around or like
Yeah, you see like a tangle of like ribbons. And
Cast magic.
that's fine.
Oh, all right, very well. I'll get someone to get the piano.
and she like goes off, and you see a couple people like pull the piano up a ramp and position it on the stage.
Safine's about to do one of those things at worship ceremonies where they're like
Like,
playing
freaking-
music and somebody's like painting along
yeah,
with
yeah.
Oh
Legit.
my gosh.
But
Sorry, deep cut.
Performance is deep in my blood. This is something that we are good at, and I will help you on the stage. You can do this. I believe in you so much.
someone has to. She's gonna start like untangling all of the things, and she's gonna basically just weave from her arm and make it into like doing Tardothian braids like from her arm, and she's gonna like pull them really strong and like make a big old scene out of it.
Okay.
Just make it a fucking meal.
Go ahead and roll performance with advantage, and you are performing
Yeah.
for.
So, by any chance, would there be...
Natural fucking 20.
Yes! You got this, like, oh, well. Let's hope you carry me through this. That was 2 2s in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
You said it was performance?
Yeah.
I think I have a decent bonus to that. It's a 5.
So it was a 22, technically.
Okay. So the
This is my shit. How did
so the piano for Angharad. The last time you played piano was in Atesa. Well, the last time you heard, yeah, that was in Atesa. That was in White Flag. And this time you don't have anything in your head. You don't have anything that's like screaming at you.
Think of benevolence.
But this is the first performance that you've been in. This is the first crowd of people looking in on you. And that affects your playing. And you stumble over a few notes. But Safine is just very confidently, like, the way that she's weaving and the way that she's, like, twisting these braids, like, for you, it brings back memories of home because you have those nets and you have the, like, fishing and everything. And even, remember, can see, hold on, I know that knot, and hold on, I know what that twist is. And it, too, it reminds you a bit of home. And that kind of helps to carry you through, is you have someone that's up there, and you're not by yourself with all of these eyes looking down on you, and you don't see any lights come up in any of the boxes, but when you guys like leave the stage, there is a very healthy round of applause.
Nice.
Skated through.
And so a couple other performers go, and you see this, what looks to be, maybe she's an orc, you're not quite sure. She has these lovely pointed ears, but she has this green cast to her skin, and her black hair is pulled back into a very tight twist, and she's wringing her hands, and she's staring up at that dark box. I don't know why he isn't here. I thought he was going to be here. Has anyone seen him? And the other performers just like shake their heads.
She's in the pit.
Yeah, she is in the pit.
I'm gonna make my way over to her side. Do you know, I'm rather new here. Who's missing from that box?
My patron, Mr. Amos. I don't know where he is. He usually comes to all of my performances, especially since he became my patron. Because I hope this doesn't mean that he's angry with me.
And as she's like muttering all of this, the same woman who came up to you guys is like, go on, Tabitha, you need to go. And she's all right. And she goes up and she sweeps her hands out, and that like almost like shrinking wallflower that this half-orc woman just was is gone, and she is just this confident woman whose voice rings out through this
stage and this performance hall, and by the end of her song, just everyone is weeping and everyone is sobbing, and there are pink lights that go up around the entire like every box has a pink light except for the darkened box, and she bows to everyone and she like blows kisses to everyone, and as soon as she's off the stage and into the pit where no one can really see, she's immediately, oh God, where is he? Oh, what if he stops paying for my bills? What if he stops paying the rent? God, this can't. Okay, maybe I need to get another patron. And people rush. No, you can't get another patron. He'd be so angry. He hasn't said anything to you. And she's just like, yes, you're right. And then someone approaches Claudius and, you're next.
Tries to smile. With just fangs, pointed teeth and fangs.
Did you need props or?
Do you want to catch stuff?
Sure. Is there any type of like dark clothing I could put on over my robe?
There's lots of costumes.
Okay, so Tamsin's gonna like reverse his robe, tuck it in, and put on some like dark stuff over it.
Okay.
Is there maybe like a piece of leather armor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that too.
Kevlar vest.
So perhaps I could start with maybe some martial arts, like a quick demo, and then you could come out and shoot me with stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, and I need both of you to roll performance.
Wait for me to put the armor on before you shoot me.
How is that
That will be important
performance?
for you.
It's just an attack roll.
Because you're performing.
I'm not. I'm just. All Claudius is doing is pointing and pulling a trigger. He's not
Would you
performing
like to
shit.
argue with the DM?
Oh, good.
Side note, the thing that she wove, what colors would have those have been?
It would have been whatever color she picked.
Alright, I'll have to think about that.
Okay.
So Tamsin's gonna go out first, and he's gonna do like a martial arts demonstration where he's just like doing the forms, like you would see like when monks do like performances with the different forms and some acrobatics and stuff.
Alright.
And then
Minus
he'll come out.
Alright, go ahead and roll performance.
Alright. Can I roll with advantage since I'm doing stuff I do all the time?
I won't let him roll with advantage either.
Suffer.
That was so close to being really
17.
bad.
Okay.
8.
Okay, so it's higher than her 5.
A marksman.
So everyone is kind of impressed by the fact that, oh hey, like what is that? Because in Huron, like martial arts isn't necessarily a thing. Like they have the King's Army. And so seeing this like definitely not local way of fighting, it almost, to a few of them you hear like, is he dancing? I don't know what that is. And like as you go around the stage. And so it's in the middle of this that Claudius comes out and
Bring me the armor.
and
He forgot.
he kind of like stumbles up a little bit because Claudius is in the middle of a room of nobles staring at him. Like this is definitely not his wheelhouse, I wouldn't think. And so that's why a couple of his shots don't quite go the way that he wants, but sure enough, Tamsin manages to like snatch one just before it hits the center of his chest and like fling it at another target. Claudius does this like behind the head kind of shot that just Tamsin just whips right out from the middle of his face just right in time. And at the end of it, like you get a couple claps and you actually see a red light come on. And
That's a yes for me, dog.
This is like Aang teaching the Fire Nation kids how to dance.
That show is so good.
It's so good.
in box number 8. Can you mark that real quick?
Parents like, yes.
Y'all go get a sugar daddy. We don't even
That's
have
a
to fight
fiery
shit. We'll get
light,
money from
isn't
these
it?
schools.
Okay.
A little bit
And
of
so
this.
you step off of the stage, and there is just that smattering of applause, and you have a couple other performers that go, and like you have a juggler, you have somebody that like looks like they are riding out on a clack, and it turns out to be a bunch of people with props that made it look like it, and they do this like badass dance, and it's super cool.
I can picture it. And then you actually have a woman in this flowing skirt. And at first glance, it looks like the skirt is just all one material. And then as she rushes up the stage, you can see that it's actually just thousands and thousands and thousands of very slender, gossamer fine bits of material. And she goes out and she takes her position on the stage, and you hear some lyre and a lute, and you hear a couple other pieces of music that just swell up, and she does this very elaborate, lovely dance across the whole of the stage. And at the end of it, there is the pink lights in all of the boxes, and then you see a blue light flare up in the dark box. And you can see the two before who are like, well, where is he? They like both clutch at each other, and he's here. Why didn't he turn on the light? And just like discussing just feverishly between them. And as soon as this woman descends the stage, they rush up to her. Holly, you did so good. Come, we'll introduce you. And they like rush him off through the side. And then they approach Remember.
Sick. Okay, so if the other gal had like a lyre and is there like a pit orchestra kind of deal, or is
it's
it
more
people...
just like people were gathered up together at the edge of the stage.
Okay, so the first thing that she's gonna do is she's gonna walk over to whoever's sitting next to the drum and teach them like the basics of what to do, and then just hold that for a while. You'll know when I'm done. And it's like a combination of like haka and then also fire dancing at the same time. So there's a lot of like terrifying faces and like yes, it's a good time.
Stomping.
It's one of the it's a very hyped thing. You cannot watch it without getting very hyped. Let's see if I can.
Well, let's see if they can.
Hey! All right. Hold on.
What's cool with them being cool?
Freezy freeze. Okay.
Kennedy.
It
that one.
is it's just gonna be a flat 16.
Nice.
So you
What a
can see,
performance.
like, as you're doing this, like, you can see just awe in some of the performers' faces, and they're like, what is that? Because they've had, like, this, like, guy coming out and doing these martial arts that they've never seen before, and now there's just very large woman doing, like, fire dancing and yelling, and there's, like, drums, and there's people who are like, why do I feel this in my bones? And you get a round of applause, and you also get a red light from box number 4.
Damn it, we're the only ones.
Box number 4.
I'm going for the plot, y'all!
Yeah.
So excited.
Where's the marker? We need the marker.
Where did the marker go? There it is.
What is it? I'm
Wait,
just gonna.
box
There's
one
more
dark
extra
one?
markers over there.
I'm just
Damn
gonna
it.
turn to somebody who's near us and be like, "What does the red light mean?"
There's red. And you
This one was also
you've
red?
turned to you've turned to someone who's holding like a small cage of mice, and
Powerful.
they have silver hoops like up and down their arms, and the mice are just like sniffing at the bars of the cage.
Answer my question. What does a red light mean?
And the person holding the mice is like, well, fuck you too then, and like goes away.
That's gonna be the big bad.
And the other person that you've turned to was actually no, wait, she went off. Is just one of the like people who was singing before, and they turned to you and they're well, a red light means. What was that noise?
It's I almost said Tamsin's music.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
I
Not wrong.
I
was like,
refer
what
to
is
you
that?
and her as Sophine and Remember all the
Correct.
time. Like these two, I just can't
It's
separate
Tamsin's
the
music.
two.
Thank you.
Tamsin's music.
And so they turned to you and a red light means that, well, they see that you're good at fighting, and they're willing to hire you for that.
Oh.
So
Sick.
pink is usually just an overall, you've done a good job, but I'm not going to hire you. Blue is, I am going to hire you, although it's more of a, I'm going to keep throwing money at you so that you perform the way I want you to, which really isn't so bad if you think about it. But yes, red usually means that they're interested in your skill at arms.
Are there any other
Skillet
colors?
arms.
Alright.
Skillet.
He's the
Well,
best fry cook north of the Mississippi.
Oh,
He
see-
lost his left arm and they attached a skillet and it's like an extension of himself. Skillet arms for me.
Sorry. I just
Where did
when you
that
said
go?
skillet arms, my mind just immediately went to like this guy's arm is a skillet.
I would like to hear more of that story definitely later.
Skillet arms.
Sorry.
and so they nod and, well, I have heard that there is a purple sort of glow. We're not entirely sure if that's true or not. I'm not sure what sort of chemical you'd have to put on a candle to make it that sort of dark color.
And she starts to go, well, I can think of like 8 different things, and she starts listing.
Yes. Well, that is usually a warning to the enforcers.
Oh.
If this sort of black candle is lit, it means that whoever is performing is a threat in some regard. And I have heard that performers have been taken away because of it.
It's gonna be the rat guy.
The mice guy is so
I hear
dumb.
that from an NPC walking by, and I'm like,
He's this episode's
I have
Jenkins.
the ghost over your shoulder always.
Just shit on him.
Remember's gonna look at Angharad. Do I go?
You're back here, are we? Yes. Take. Here's the thing. Take the key, and I'm gonna really discreetly slip this key from my hand into hers. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you did such a good job," and put the key in her hand, and be like,
Into boob.
singular.
Go speak with him. Make sure you memorize what he looks like for me. And if he offers you a further job, further contact, I would like to speak with him as well.
I go to the side door.
Okay. So you go to the side door and
Do you want to go as well?
Well, we're going to a different one, I think, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
8.
And so they nod to you as you go up to the door and box 4 requests your presence. And they just kind of nod you through. And as you two approach, it's box 8 requests your presence, and they nod you through. And you ascend these winding stairs that wrap all the way up to is the word dais? I think so. To this dais of red carpet, and it's just opulence to an extreme. And up here there is some dark wood, and there are some sconces along the walls, and you can see servants going this way and back with various trays of meals and drinks and stuff like that, and you can hear murmuring within some of the rooms that are scattered around. And so you go ahead and you get around to door number 4.
I'm going to knock.
There is no response.
I'm gonna try the door handle.
It opens.
I'm gonna open the door but not walk in. I am genuinely, hey, narrative's really good. I am genuinely nervous right now. Like, actually physically response nervous right now.
So you creak the door open, and it's dark. There's no lamp lit. That red light that went up has been extinguished. And you, like, Tabitha and this other poet and Holly, they all were, like, apparently going up to this box, and they're not here. There's no one in this box. And there is a singular, very ornate chair at the center of the room with a small box on it.
Can I, like, slice the pie, make sure that there's nobody just, like, hanging out in the corners of the room, perception check kind of before I
Yeah,
walk
go
in?
ahead.
Okay, cool. Big time spookums. Big time spookums. That's gonna be a... It's, okay, it's a 15.
Okay. So there's definitely no one in this room. And as you go forward, like, you can see the performers down below. And from here, like down below in the like pit area, you weren't really able to see see into the boxes. You could see like a fan here or like someone leaning over like a bit of their hat, and that was about it. Except now you can see into the boxes. And as you look around, you can see across from you, in box number 9, you see a gentleman, a blue tiefling man, standing there. And he raises a glass to you, sips from it, and then leaves.
What's the significance of a blue tiefling?
Do we know Blue Tiefling Man?
Fucking Skamos!
Oh, okay,
Meanwhile,
I was like,
What?
Tamsin,
I remember that. That's
Tamsin and Claudius,
Oh,
you go ahead up to door number 8.
As we're going up, we're just like, I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
We should practice more so we can improve our skills.
Sure.
Maybe work our way up to the voice of the gentleman.
What?
You shooting me with your firearm?
He was, wasn't he?
No,
No,
she
with
just
your
did
crossbow.
arrow.
No,
It
you
was
said
just
it was,
crossbow?
yeah,
Oh,
crossbow.
okay. Yeah, we could do that.
It'll be interesting to see what this person has to offer.
Okay.
Knock on the door.
Alright. So you knock on the door, and you hear it. Yes, come in.
Open it.
And you see Gordon.
Ramsey.
If only.
You're fucking stupid.
No, you see Gordon, Professor Knack's valet.
Oh.
And he is sitting in a chair, and there are several other plush chairs there. And he's sitting, one leg draped over the other, and he has a glass of wine, and he has a very ornate, like, ridiculous hat compared to his very nice, reserved suit. And there are 2 women there who are dressed like a white peacock and a blue peacock. And
Gordon.
and Gordon just, yes, come in. You can close the door behind you.
Do you want to join my hair?
This is a surprise.
Have you ever considered?
Surprise how?
I just wasn't expecting you.
Yes, well, Professor Knack was busy this evening, so I took his box.
He usually attends this then.
He does whatever the hells he wants to, and unfortunately, yes, he does this. But it was quite interesting to see the pair of you here.
He's letting Tamsin do the
It
talking.
wasn't really our initial idea, but we went along with our friends.
I saw their performances were quite interesting.
Indeed. So, what is it exactly that you're interested in?
Ladies,
Besides our prior engagements.
ladies, would you go fetch us a few refreshments? And they like get to their feet, and they're like, "Oh my, did you see what he did?" As they like leave the room. They're like glancing back at Claudius and Tamsin, like, "Oh my goodness, oh that." Send me a Twitter," and the other one is like, "Oh, bad jokes," and
Their names
Gordon
are Robin and Blue Jay.
Claudius raises an eyebrow.
and Gordon is just like, "Yes, Professor Knack enjoys their company. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you, but
Professor Knack.
Professor Knack.
He's knick-knacking.
Professor Knack.
He's
am I
nicking
right?
and he's knacking.
No, ma'am. No.
Knick-knack.
The fan art for this place.
Knick,
all
knack,
of it
snack
is
shack.
horrible.
Alright.
Okay.
No, please. God,
Okay.
why would you allow this? God.
and
What did I do? What did
and
I
so Gordon waits until they've like gone and."
Done their swooning and left.
And you hear, like, you can hear them say, "Oh, excuse me, sir," as they, like, head off down the hall. And Gordon looks at the both of you and, "So, you you two can really fight then.
Yes.
You can say that.
You were just gonna send us after something so priceless to the professor without thinking we could fight?
You'd be surprised at what inept people will do for money.
Well,
We're not
I assure
inept.
you we are not inept.
Lovely. Then I have a bit more to the job that I can tell you. Here is not the place though. So I would actually ask that you come to the professor's residence tomorrow afternoon for luncheon.
We'll be there.
Timothy gives a nod. Yeah.
Delighted.
The time and the place.
And he withdraws a card and hands it out to you.
Take it.
Upper tier, so do dress appropriately.
Okay. Sounds
He,
just
like-
like okay.
He's-
What if this is all right?
And he scribbles something down and hands it to you. There's a tailor on Coral Street. You just give them that and they'll give you a new change of clothes.
I'd be real uncomfortable wearing new clothes.
Would that work for me as well?
I mean, yours look mostly not patched, but yes, and he scribbles something down and hands it to you.
Boys are going shopping.
Lit, I
Then,
got that fancy clothes.
We will see
hour.
you at Professor Neck's residence tomorrow for lunch.
Alright, and nice shooting. And then he turns back to watch the rest of the performance.
We just kind of high five each other.
Yeah, no, we,
After we
no,
exit,
we
after-
get out, we close the door, and then I'm like,
So remember, in the dark box in
Yes.
box 4, there is still that.
just the box in the box.
There's that box in the box.
What's in the box? In the box.
Oh, knick-knack, snack shack. I'm still down.
I'm going to look
Next,
in the box with my eyes.
It looks like it's a small wooden box.
There's no glass top or anything. It's just small and Look it. Open the box.
Inside is a shimmering blue scale.
It's dragon tails.
Son of a bitch. I close the box. I tie the box with an extra bit of cloth that I have, and then I tuck it away and close.
Okay.
What was the significance of the blue teeth one?
You will find out, my man.
We'll talk about it.
Angharad's about to bitch about it for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I am. That fucker.
Get you some learn today.
Sorry, I wasn't taking this. It was a blue scale.
Yo,
inside
this
the box.
Yeah,
section
shimmering
is
blue
lit.
scale.
I am loving this. Big fan.
Shimmering blue scale.
We're so into it. I love that we're
By-
all awake right now. This is great. I don't know how.
By the way,
but
with
it's
that
good.
section that she had woven and whatnot, she's gonna run
Weaved.
out. What?
Woven.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, she's gonna put a long going string through the top of it and then tie it to her hip, so it's almost like a half skirt.
Okay.
And she just made it in gray, lavender, and charcoal. So it's not like her colors or anything, but
Mhm.
she's like, I'm proud of this.
Looks pretty close.
Alright, so do the two of you go back into the performers area or do you leave?
We probably gotta try to meet up with them.
Do we wait outside?
Would we find them on our way out? Would we find them?
Yeah, you would see them mingling around.
Yeah, we
we'd
can
probably
go.
meet up with them.
Yeah.
And what would Remember do? Does she head back to the performers area?
Yeah, she'll head back to the performers area, and when she can see everybody together, we need to find a tavern. Let's go.
Okay.
To the inn.
Okay.
No, not to the inn. It needs to be a different tavern. It's not ours.
Okay.
Slammed hands on things. You kids.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and you leave, and a couple, you get some, rounds of applause from, fellow performers as you go through, and the bouncer at the door as you pass out, he's...
Oh, okay.
just like dropped yourself out of her.
She falls.
She just throws herself out
Yeah.
of the hammock.
It happens.
Buddy. She's like, I don't need these ramps.
She's like, I want a dun-dun. Give me a dun-dun.
Oh, kisses. I can't like fall like that and then stumble around. It makes me very scared. Yes.
Very
thank you.
mom.
She's gotta have that brain damage.
She's like, roll for fall damage.
You can check that bottom ramp. It doesn't look like it's in.
Yeah. Yeah, she hit the ramp as she went down.
She's like, I'm just gonna throw myself out a weird side of this. Whoops.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, she's definitely feeling better. She ate a treat. She did not eat a treat earlier,
Ooh.
which freaks me right the hell out. Like, she sniffed at it and then turned away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to hear Angharad's 10-minute rant about Skamos.
It's gonna be a good time. So I'm looking for a tavern that is not seedy, it's not like gross or anything, but it's just like the one that is winding down because people leave this one to go somewhere else as the night goes on.
Did you say maybe
So
like
something that's a little bit quieter.
a back alley
Okay.
tavern?
A little more family friendly.
Yeah. So you do find one that's called the Rook and Pawn, and it's quiet. Like, people probably like were partying here before they went to the Opal Fields. But yeah, so you guys go ahead and you manage to snag a corner spot.
Do you want me to give you this back, this map? Would you like this map back?
You can leave it there for now. Yeah.
So when they all sit down at the table, so I went up to the box. The box was empty. I look across the arena, and in the box opposite to me, there's a blue tiefling man. Do we know anyone by that description?
Yes. Fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you, my hand to bang.
He was fucking in the building. We've been chasing him across how many countries and he was in the building with us.
Ooh.
Mogul.
Wait,
Ogle?
you're saying that Skamos is Mogul?
He was in the beginning. Remember, I was pissed because he was the only person in the Taste that I successfully flirted with, and then he turned out to be the fucker, the big bad evil guy.
Fiona's cousin.
What do you mean by?
But I don't think that he was a...
Little bit of this.
It
Little
doesn't
bit
mean
of
that
that.
he was Mogul, though. I mean, Fiona was...
Let me turn
Oh,
back
really?
in
Go
my-
back to your notes? Was he really?
Yes. That was why I got so pissed.
We've been
because Skamos
Moriarty!
was fucking Mogul the whole time.
Oh, I didn't
That was why I was
realize.
so pissed when it happened.
I thought he was just like, oh, one of the
Fiona's
underlings.
cousin?
No, because he sent us to Fiona, and then when we went back, she got really like freaked out when we mentioned his name because that's the name he had been using to like communicate with her. And then when we went back to the place where we had talked to him, it was like the
wasn't
moneylender or something. He wasn't there, and there was no record of him having ever existed. Nobody could remember him.
Okay, so obviously Mackenzie is the one who's on this because none of us remember that. You need a note taker.
I do also have it written down that he was purple, I think, but
I couldn't remember exactly. I knew
That's
that it was
blue
one of the
now.
two.
I guess I was
He's-
like, I think
He's blue now.
Yeah.
I'll go back and re-listen.
it doesn't matter.
The colored tiefling.
He also left this in the
Ah,
box.
yes, tiefling racism.
Be careful. And I want to check it here before we take it back to the tavern in case it is something dangerous or something we can
I was
practice.
thinking of Casper.
I give you the box.
He was a different guy. Maybe don't touch it.
Well, no, I can try and figure out what it is, but it's kind of suspicious looking when I do it, so maybe,
I'm gonna go to the bartender. You got like a hooker rate?
Excuse me.
Like a room for an hour.
I'm not gonna have to burn the sheets, am I?
No, can you just be cool?
15 silver.
Jeez, never mind, bro. We gotta go back.
Jeez.
no, here, just,
You just saved yourself a lot of laundry.
I'm gonna
Sounds like it.
kind of like hunch over the box and let my cloak or whatever I'm wearing, like I assume I have a nice pretty like travel cloak kind of thing. I'm gonna let it fall over my face and pull my drink kind of in front of the box and make it just look like I'm kind of involved with my drink while
We'll also
I'm
kind of
casting
shroud
Identify
around you.
as a ritual. So I'm just gonna very discreetly
You're casting what now?
identify
Okay.
as a ritual.
Let me double check what identify does.
So I just sit there for about 10 minutes and I'm just kind of like muttering to myself.
Quickly laugh like you mean it.
I'm kind of freaked out.
Remember's like, ho, 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 ho.
Oh, oh, oh.
Jabba.
The paper, the scissors, and the shoe.
You go ahead and you cast Identify. And for a moment, you don't necessarily get anything. Like, it doesn't feel like it's a magical item. It doesn't feel like it's cursed or charmed or anything. But then, almost like the way that magic does sometimes for you, where it sneaks up onto the back of your mind, suddenly that scale in the box is glowing. No one else can see that it's glowing. But it is like a white hot light.
I'm gonna startle a little bit.
It's so bright that third eye is like you want to figure out a way to close it while still like looking at it, because that's the only thing that's making it glow. Like you cover your forehead a little bit and you don't see the glowing, you just see this blue scale. You do know from Identify that this belongs to a very old dragon.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it's exciting.
Thanks. And why would someone give that to us?
Let's
Maybe
take
he
it home
knows
to
who
my
you
boy.
are.
Haha, we're the mom's jacket.
I think the name.
Maybe there's more to hiss than meets the eye.
Oh, sweet baby.
Okay. This is really odd. It's kind of giving me a headache. I guess this is a dragon scale, but it's very old. This is ancient. And it glows like a mother bitch. Whoa.
Another bitch, yes.
Shut the fuck your mouth, mother bitch.
And I'm just gonna kind of close the box now that I know what I'm looking at. Shield it. Have we considered he might be a dragon?
Ugh.
Raises dragon son.
I mean,
Why to be a
they
dragon?
like gold.
It fits. I don't know how we would have achieved godhood as a dragon, but I guess anybody.
Well, if
Can do it.
I mean,
I mean,
Pith
we're
has
basically
shown
not.
us that you could transform into a human body.
I see no reason why he couldn't be.
But why give us that information?
Maybe a threat?
A little tease.
I'm gonna. Pause. for a
Maybe
second.
we should go home
Yeah, let's go back.
to our home tavern for now.
We got a little like lead-lined purse somewhere, right, for the gems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still have that.
Mm-hmm.
Sophine, could you put this inside of your?
Like doggy bag style, like inverse it, pick it up, and then inverse it back to the.
I don't know if it was. My worry is that he gave that to us to track us with it, and I don't want to get rid of it just in case there's a way that we could use it. But
How would he track us with something like that?
there is magic that can do it. Just like I'm going to try to maybe turn that back on him once we're back at the hotel.
Let's go!
Alright, so you guys go ahead and you return to the Ballantrae Inn. We're going to go ahead and wrap up there for tonight.
What?